Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Borkno game video. Today's video is take you to the Arisa banner and should you pull on it, and the answer is if you're a free-to-play, no, and if you're a spender or you have over 45k gems and you have some extra, then feel free to do so. Let's go ahead and cover her details and her skills, right? So this is going to be Arisa. Note that she is going to be a TP generating machine, and she's going to be fantastic for clan battle and somewhat okay for PvP. You know, you can sort of use her. She's going to be the better version of like Suzuna and Shori, technically speaking, as far as dealing like damage goes, because she can refill her TP like so frequently. So you can see here on her skill 2, she can pretty much recover her TP. After using her Union Burst, she actually recovers TP, and every single time she uses her Union Burst, she actually deals more and more damage. So she is going to be fantastic for longer fights where she can generate TP. She probably pairs well with by herself. She's really good by herself. Very great character. She reduces the enemy's action speed for a set period of time, and she also aims for highest magical attack people. So if you have, like, for example, Hatsune or Anna or Ayo on the opposing team, she's going to be slowing them down and also hitting them with this skill 1, which is really cool. I'll leave links to this down in the description, but for the most part, you can see her skill 1, skill 2, and attack. So she's going to drop this in PvP as soon as she appears, and then she's going to pretty much generate some TP and then go from there. Note that her loop pattern is pretty much skill 2, attack, skill 2. So pretty much as soon as she drops her skill 1 ability, she's going to be able to pretty much start spamming her UB, and that's what she's really good at. She is technically going to be the meta archer if you want to use her. Just know it's not recommended whatsoever to pull on her, still as good as she is, because she's going to be outclassed in the very near future, and she's only going to be really good for, you know, as long as she sort of like appears like within the next like month or so, right? So here's some extra notes by the person who pretty much created this, right? The whole Google spreadsheets and everything. She's pretty much like Jita. Arisa is a self-acceleration character. Arisa has much higher damage output and UB cycle rate, so she's actually a better DPS than Jita. And I've already talked about on my should you pull how great Jita is for clan battle, but she also takes up the role of an anti-magic attacker like we talked about. And just note that her skill 1's damage is pretty bad, and it's only used like once every 8 actions, but it gets better with her unique equipment. So it's still kind of iffy for like Arena if you want her to be like a mage killer. She's gonna be okay at it, but not like to the levels of like Tamaki, right? And then lastly, her UB cycle, while it's really fast and her attack is like sky high, and she has higher multipliers than even Mimi's UB, is that she is very frail. So you can't really, you know, keep her by herself. She acts more of a mid guard. She's actually the first person like within the rear guard position, but for the most part, she's going to be really great for clan battle. That is where she's going to shine. And as far as like everything goes, it's just not worth it for free to play, because there's going to be a lot of units that are going to be coming in. And you know, if you want to do like a multi or 2 and you feel like you can earn like 3,000 gems, sure, but the thing is most of your characters are not going to be coming from banners. Most of your characters are actually going to be coming from Dungeon, Arena, and Princess Arena. By that I mean the coins that you collect will pretty much be like these characters specifically, and you'll be able to 5-star, 3-star, or even acquire these characters. I've shown pretty much my video of how I acquired Nozomi. I actually did not pull Nozomi. I straight up created her by farming like dungeon coins, and that's like just going through dungeon every single day, and you can totally get her eventually. Trust me, within a month, like, you will definitely have at least 1 copy of Nozomi. In Arena, you'll definitely at least have 1 copy of one of these characters if you stick to them and just, you know, invest into their shards. Most of your characters are going to be obtained via shards. It's not really like based off of gacha, and that's why, you know, Princess Connect is such a free-to-play game, is because these characters appear from shards and they're so consistent, and it's more of like a bonsai game where you can pretty much acquire stuff over time. So if I haven't made myself clear enough, do not pull on this banner if you're free to play. If you have like over 45k gems and you have the itch, then feel free to pull. And look, these rates are only like technically 2.5%, right? And I don't think it's going to be anything game breaking. If you get Arisa right now, she's just going to be icing on the cake. I'm going to hold with y'all, alright? I'm going to try my best and not pull until Summer Karu, because that's what I feel like everyone should save for. Now, if I have like an extra amount and like Ilya and Kyoka, I might do a pull or two, but I will never break low 45k. I got ridiculously lucky on June. I know that, and I'm blessed for that. I highly recommend saving your like tickets right here, unless you feel free to like, you know, spending them. And of course, if Arisa is your waifu, then feel free to pull her. Don't let me stop you, right? Because she is from the Shadowverse universe, and at the end of the day, waifu over meta. Alright everyone, before we jump into the Hatsune event, let's go ahead and talk about the tier list. So as far as everything goes, this is where Arisa sits on timezone tier list, and yes, I agree with this, but for the most part, doesn't mean she is a must pull, a must have. She is for people who want to be part of the meta, who want to be competitive in PvP, competitive in clan battle. So if you are into those things and you are a spender, like we talked about earlier, then, you know, feel free to pull her. But the biggest thing that I wanted to cover is this actually shows the different ranks where characters pretty much shine in. So for example, Eriko shines at pretty much rank 8 with the 3 pieces of gear. So, you know, if you want to be like, hey, you know, where do I actually go when I get to chapter 9 in order to farm gear? Who do I actually build and stuff? So, you know, just reference the tier list for the most part. It'll tell you which characters are going to be the ones that are going to be very useful to actually build and get to R8 with 3 equips, like Makoto for example. And let's go ahead and cover the actual hard modes, because this is going to be important, and I think everyone should at least try to get one, you know, Saren unlocked. So trying to get to 9-3, all you have to do to get to 9-3 is just beat normal. This is going to be a thing, and for me, I've been placing most of my stamina into the actual Hatsune event. So before you go into 1-15, of course, make sure to complete like all these character ones, and I can go ahead and show you like what is my team for the most part. We got 20 tickets right there, which is almost enough. 30 is what you're going to need to actually tackle the boss. Some folks were asking me, is there a very hard, or is there something else outside of the hard boss? I don't think so. I think the only boss that we get is the hard boss right here, and it actually tells you how many victories you have. This is the team that I am running. This is the same team that I use for clan battle. I think so long as you have like Miyako, you should be fine, or a Nozomi, and even a Peko. We can try using like the base team. I'm not sure if it'll work, but it doesn't really matter if you lose on these, because you don't really lose or gain anything. Now I know I don't have like everyone's like perfect like cookie cutter team, like as far as like the free to play team goes, because you know not everyone has stuff in 3-star, but it should be okay for the most part, just to see if this actual free to play team works. Obviously my standards are not of what everyone else has, but I am curious, like, does this work? Because a lot of the times when we get events, it's like, hey, is this limited to only people who have like really high tier characters, or can free to play at least somewhat participate in this? And I will say that my team that I showed earlier with pretty much Miyako, Kaori, and everyone, that one can kill this relatively quickly. This one is probably more about sustain and pretty much surviving. I can try running my other team just to show everyone like what it looked like. But I like this. This seems to be fairly okay. I'm not sure if we can one-shot this with this team in particular, because we are so tanky. So this team can't one-shot it, but it can definitely two-shot it. I'm not sure if that's what everyone is looking for, but you know, it's not a bad team. I think I could just probably replace like Kokoro and Carol with someone like Mimi, and it would be totally fine. And that's on attempt 1. Oh, for the sake of science, we have wasted tickets. It's absolutely fine, I don't mind. Alright, well, there we go. Let's go ahead and recover some stamina over at the guild house. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Oop, I'll drop a like to the person who left a like over there at the guild house. I like trading likes in the morning. That's always a nice thing to wake up to. Get some likes on your guild house. That's all thanks to the guildies and stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and get these. Thank you, thank you. And no, we will not go to the bonus shop right now. Not right now. Alright, and let's go ahead and get these. All these like wonderful shards. I love them. And then for the most part, I'm going to be working on getting at least up to the Saren node, because that Saren node, Saren is going to be a very important character outside of clan battle, outside of PvP. She's going to be like Yukari, where you can use her pretty much in any zone, any particular area where, you know, you pretty much need a support character, which is everywhere. Saren is going to be very, very good. Or no, we can actually leave Kokoro here. I think she's going to be fine. Only person that I didn't feel like fit the bill was probably Carol, just because of like the DPS factor. And we might be able to do another attempt. I just want to see like what are the limits, because I already know my other team can one-shot it within like 30 seconds, because that team is pretty much built for clan battle. If you have a clan battle team like already set up with like Makoto and June, that can probably kill this boss, because treat like most boss events like clan battle for the most part, because that's essentially what it is. So let's go ahead and run like a clan battle team. So this one did okay. Like obviously the boss was already half dead, so we won't have any issues there. And we will do like, you know, the victory medal gacha afterwards, so we don't have enough. Feel like the best way to pretty much allocate stamina is like pretty much building characters based off of the tier list, based off of your needs for clan battle, and then pretty much going back into, you know, the Hatsune event and spamming everything on 1-15, because 1-15 is going to be like the best part. And obviously Arisa would perform very, very well in this section, I believe, just because she's going to be, you know, monsters when it comes to spamming that UB, dealing damage and everything. And let's go from here. This is obviously a very like high meta team. I didn't try this team, but I'm just thinking of a good clan battle team. You have 3 defense debuffers here. So I'm hoping like this guy's going to just be absolutely shredded because the amount of defense he has lost. Okay, my other team is still a little bit faster. My other team can beat it like around like the 40 to 50 second mark. Well, it wasn't purple, so it's probably physical damage, but for some reason I just like Yukari. Yukari's probably like useless once I actually read like the boss skills and stuff. But yeah, this team can totally handle it. Everyone's like dead. That's great. That's pretty monka-esque, so I don't recommend that team because not everyone has like the levels for that. So don't listen to me when it comes to that team. That one was very, very monka-esque. I need probably more DPS and less debuffs on that. Okay, let's go ahead and just look at like the details for this dude. Man, they don't have it broken down, but deals large damage on the entire team based on character's maximum HP, physical damage, and physical damage. Yeah, deals large damage to Vanguard based on HP. This guy is a very interesting dude, but he's a physical related boss, so Yukari is absolutely useless as far as like actual utility goes, probably mostly just for the TP boosting. Alright, let's go ahead and go into the victory medal portion, go into the medal gacha. I have it right here. If you set it to options, 100 times skip, so you don't have to go through the animations and everything, and there we can pretty much get everything very, very quickly. I like that. This is the animation that you get if you get like the grand prize for that lineup. We'll talk about the lineup really quick. So we're gonna, no, I don't want to reset the rewards just yet because I want to clear out all those jewels. That's why you're actually here, and I want all of those juicy divine amulets. So I'm going to exchange again, and I'm going to exchange again. That's just how I work. All right, did I get all the jewels? Did I get the divine amulets? I think this is good enough as far as everything goes. Now you can zero it out just for the sake of it if you guys want to see it. So we zeroed it out. That's pretty much the animation that you get, and it forces you to go on the next lineup, and it'll pretty much, you know, use the rest of the medals that you have left over and go from there. I recommend clearing it out if you're going to be focusing more as a free to play and you want to get all the gems. If you get all the gems and you pretty much max that out, then pretty much jump out, because, you know, from here, I'm pretty sure you get like 100 gems. From here, you get technically 25. From here, you know, math, and more math, right? So that is how you can technically look at it. And probably this is the section where most people are going to be sitting at. Just note that this is going to be like a fairly high number. This is 841. The stuff that we were dealing with earlier, you know, it was only like 431 like victory medals. Like that's how you technically complete it, is use all the victory medals and everything. So once you get to this point, it's going to be very difficult to farm jewels, but at the same time, if you can get to this location, it's just going to be very nice to acquire resources. So yeah, that's pretty much the Hatsune event. I highly recommend just going into 1-15. And when it comes to Arisa, don't pull for her unless you have the extra gems, unless you feel like you're going to spend a little, or you just want to pull. Then I understand that, or waifu over meta, right? Anyways, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing if you made it this far, dropping a like, leaving a comment. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.